In our Here's How series, we describe simple processes in TreeProApps that improve your ability to move around the apps more easily. Number 3 is an introduction that deals with basic search choices. We have 11 ideas in the 2 search videos that we suggest you consider carefully. This first video has ideas 1 to 5, while the second video continues 6 to 11. If you are new to searching with an app, we do suggest you do these 2 videos in the correct order. You may need to stop and start this video a few times to take full advantage of the information here. You can stop, rewind, and re-listen if you missed something, and you may even find it is best to listen once, right to the end, and then go through it again more slowly, following the instructions very carefully. Idea 1. The most important advice we can offer is that you become familiar with the characteristics in the search at all levels. It is really an essential that you spend some hours playing with the app, if possible with any number of different plants in your hands, even if these species are not in the app and even if they are not actually trees. It is really most important that you do not try to identify any species while doing this. The first vital step is to become familiar with what the app offers you. It makes a real difference to learn about the app's capabilities if you do this without any pressure of reaching a correct result. You can do it indoors, even using photographs of plants, any plants, or collect a bundle of twigs to have on hand. You do not need to worry to have any photographs or examples of flowers or fruit. In these first steps, while we focus on becoming familiar with the search processes themselves, we focus entirely on leaves and thorns. One plant with thorns would help, but it is not essential, and you can always pretend that thorns are there. As another opening comment, it is worth giving a few thoughts to rapid finger syndrome. In any search, please do go slowly and try not to make mistakes. Rapid finger syndrome errors are fatal to reaching a correct ID. And idea 3, we are now going to look at the search. Open your app on the home screen. The search is the dark button in the middle of the upper row showing a magnifying glass. Select search by tapping it. This brings up the search tree screen. We have used these examples from here on exactly as they appear in the TreeApp South Africa, because the screens in TreePro Botanical, although not identical, are very similar. You will start all searches here and then move on through all the subsequent levels of choices of categories and subcategories that will define your species. As a demonstration, on the search tree, select the button marked Thorns. This first screen itself is similar in structure to most other screens throughout the search in both the apps. On the extreme left is a row of images, icons, that represent the plant characteristics. Next to each one is text that explains the image. On the right are a series of squares. You simply select, click, tap the square to the right of your chosen category name and icon. A plain square means that you have reached the end of that specific set of category entries. Any square that has an arrow on the right-hand side means there are more subcategories to follow. Steadily, as you use the sequences, you will become more comfortable that you understand the terms and their visual icons. Idea 4. If you're unsure of a category, do not enter anything at all. Skipping a category or a subcategory is better than getting it wrong. Fewer entries are better than too many. Idea 5. Never ever guess too early in your search. Never ever think you may know the answer as part of the first processing. You can always go back later and see what happens when you guess, when there are far fewer trees on your list. For example, choosing the shape of this unusual fruit of Ferrea saligna, the willow buchenhout, could be a real challenge. In the TreeProApp South Africa, you select fruit to help you, and then select shape recently ripened, and after that, any other shape not listed here. However, if you are using TreePro Botanical, you'll have to know your science to be able to choose the correct shape. This app follows a random entry, random access program, and the more you are able to hop around the categories and subcategories where you do know that you are correct, the sooner you will master the process and get correct answers. An overview of the above information. Experience with users has shown us that the majority of incorrect IDs are when the user has entered an incorrect search characteristic. This is either because they have misunderstood the item or simply through our famous rapid finger syndrome. Using the ideas above, this should reduce the number of errors you make and increase your pleasure. If you do find a data error, we are delighted to hear from you on ask@thetreeapp.co.za. We also enjoy more general input of any kind from users, as this will help us to improve the app for updates, and we never turn down a compliment. Enjoy using our magnificent TreePro apps and go out to discover and love 1,000 trees in our beautiful, diverse South Africa.